An elderly woman walked into the Canadian National Bank carrying a bag full of money. She insisted on speaking directly to the bank president, explaining that a lot of money was involved. After some hesitation, the staff escorted her to the president's office. "President, how much money would you like to deposit?" "Woman, $165,000. She emptied the bag onto his desk, stacks of cash everywhere. "Curious," the president asked. "May I ask where all this money came from?" "Woman, gambling." "President, what kind of gambling woman bets?" "Let me give you an example. I'll bet you $25,000 that your balls are rectangular." The president burst out laughing. "President, that's ridiculous. I'll never lose that bet." "Woman, so you accept, President?" "Of course, woman. Since it's such a large sum. May I return tomorrow with my lawyer as a witness?" "President, no problem." That night, the president grew nervous. He spent hours in front of the mirror, examining himself from every angle to make absolutely sure his balls weren't rectangular. The next morning, the elderly woman returned with her lawyer. "Woman, so $25,000 says the president's balls are rectangular?" The president, eager to win, lowered his pants. The woman inspected him closely, then asked if she could touch them, which he allowed. As she held them, the president noticed her lawyer banging his head against the wall. "President, what's wrong with your lawyer?" "Woman, nothing. Yesterday, I bet him $100,000 that today, I'd be holding the president of the Canadian National Bank's balls in my hand." A blonde and a brunette decide to rob a bank. Brunette, "So you remember the plan?" Blonde smiling, "Yep, I'll keep the car ready. Good luck." The brunette runs in with her mask and pistol. 5 minutes pass. Nothing. 10 minutes. 15. 20. Brunette thinking, "What the hell is taking so long?" Finally, after 30 minutes, the blonde bursts out of the bank with a rope. She ties it to the back of the getaway car, jumps in, and yells, "Go!" The rope tightens, yanking the entire safe through the bank wall. It bounces and drags behind the car. Behind them, a guard pants around his ankles, tries to chase and shoot, but trips and falls. The brunette, red-faced with fury, shouts, "I knew you'd screw this up. I told you to tie up the guard and blow the safe." A robber robs a bank, grabs all the money, and is about to leave. Before going, he asks a customer lying on the floor, "Robber, did you see me rob this bank, customer?" "Yes, sir." Bang, the customer is shot. The robber turns to another man, "Robber, did you see me rob this bank, man?" "Absolutely not, sir. But my wife here saw everything." A young boy deposited $100 at the bank every single day. One day, the general manager noticed and asked the clerk about him. The clerk explained that the boy came in daily, always depositing exactly $100. The manager told the clerk, "Send him to me next time he comes in." The next day, the boy arrived and was sent to the manager's office. Manager, "So, tell me, how do you make $100 a day?" Boy, "Every day I make a bet with someone." Manager, "About what, boy?" "That I can kiss my right eyes." The manager laughed. "No way. Boy want to bet. Confident." The manager agreed. The boy then removed his glass eye and kissed it. The manager felt foolish and demanded his $100 back. "Boy, I'll give it back on one condition. Let's make another bet. I'm sure you're wearing red women's panties. If I'm wrong, I'll give you back your $100 and another $100 for this bet." The manager, certain he wasn't wearing anything like that, agreed. "Boy, but before you undress, we need 10 witnesses to make it official." The manager agreed, calling in all his staff. Confidently, he dropped his pants and sure enough, he won the bet. But then, he noticed the boy grinning from ear to ear. "Manager, Why are you so happy if you just lost money? Boy, because I had a bet with your staff about how long it would take me to get you to take off your pants. And guess who just won? A frog walks into a bank and hops up to a teller. Tampankud Securi. He notices her name tag, Patricia Whack. Frog Ms. Whack, I'd like to borrow $30,000, please. The teller asks for his name. Frog Kermit Jagger, son of Mick Jagger and a personal friend of your bank manager. Still unconvinced? Ms. Whack explains she'll need some identification and security for the loan. The frog pulls a tiny pink porcelain elephant from his pocket and hands it to her. Confused, Ms. Whack says she'll have to check with her manager. Ms. Whack, there's a frog named Kermit Jagger out there who wants a $30,000 loan. And what is this little elephant about? The manager glances at it and says, it's a knick-knack. Patty Whack, give the frog a loan, his old man's a rolling stone. A shaggy-looking old lady walks into her bank and hands her debit card to the teller. Old lady, I'd like to withdraw $10 from my account. Please. The teller, annoyed, snaps. Teller, go to the ATM. Don't hold up the line for $10. The old lady pauses, then says, Old lady, all right. Then I'd like to withdraw $10,000 from my account. The teller, now surprised, checks the account over $500,000 in deposits. She apologizes, informs the manager, and begins counting out the $10,000 in $100 bills. A few minutes later, the teller hands over the cash. Valeria, where you go? Ma'am, is there anything else I can help you with? Old lady, yes, I'd like to deposit $190. And she slides the money right back across the counter. Shh. A blonde, a brunette, and a redhead rob a bank. Everything goes smoothly, masks on, cash in hand. Perfect getaway. But as they leave, sirens blare and several cop cars turn the corner. They dash into a narrow alleyway. Just as the cops are about to enter, the women spot 3 empty potato sacks lying against the wall. Brunette quick hide. They each crawl into a sack. A policeman walks in, scanning the alley. The potato sacks catch his eye. He kicks the one with the redhead. Redhead meow policeman, just a cat. He nudges the next bag. Brunette woof policeman, just a stray dog. He moves to the last sack and gives it a kick. Blonde, potato. There's a robbery at a bank. One of the robbers accidentally drops his mask. He quickly puts it back on, but knows it's too late. He turns to the closest man, robber. Did you see anything, Manuel? Yes. I was close, and bang, the robber shoots him. He turns to the next closest robber. What did you see, man? Nothing but... My wife doesn't miss anything. Robber, where's your wife? Show her to me, man. She's at home, but I can call her, and she'll be here in 5 minutes. A Japanese man walks into a bank and goes up to the teller. In careful English, he says, Man, I wish to exchange 400 of my currency for US dollars. The teller processes the exchange, hands him the cash, and they part ways. A few days later, the Japanese man returns to exchange the same amount. This time, the teller gives him fewer dollars than before. Man, why have you given me less money than last time? Teller fluctuations. The markets have changed. The Japanese man's eyes widen. Man, fluctuations. Fluctuations, fuck you Americans. 2.